Welcome back to my channel, folks. It's Batman miniature game time again. And today, the Riddler and his goons will face the menacing threat of the League of Assassins, led by the cold-blooded terrorist Bane, accompanied by Miranda Tate, or should I say Talia al Ghul, who is the secret leader. They will take their war into the streets of Gotham today, and only one can be victorious. Will it be the Master of Riddles? Or will the League of Assassins drown Gotham in darkness and blood? Let's not waste any time and take a detailed look at the two crews, shall we? So first, the League of Assassins crew led by Bane. He is equipped with the pure Lazarus upgrade, which will give him the regeneration trait. As sidekick we have Talia al Ghul, which will give me $400 more to spend for upgrades due to her millionaire trait. As a free agent I took Cheshire for some poison shenanigans. For henchmen I chose one League acolyte equipped with one additional magazine and the 3 mercenary henchmen from the Dark Knight Rises box set. Barsad is also equipped with an additional magazine, and the mercenary with the axe has the poison training upgrade, which will give him Poison Master. The Riddler crew is of course led by the modern age Riddler. He has the level up upgrade, no sidekicks this time, only henchmen. Quiz 3 has the Enigma data pack upgrade, Quiz 6 has the Another One upgrade, Quiz 7 has the Inspiration upgrade, and Quiz 8 aka Irish has the Mirror Games upgrade. The mission for today is Showdown, so the first group deployed must contain leaders, sidekicks and free agents. Let's take a look at the deployed crews. So here we have Bane and one more mercenary. In the middle we have the acolyte and the guy with the assault rifle, and using her undercover deployment, Talia and 2 more mercenaries. The Riddler crew, due to Riddler's ability, they already put down 2 suspect markers, and the rest is just deployed in a straight line and a little bit more hidden. Quiz 5, or the dude with the backpack. So before we roll for initiative, Miranda Tate uses her scheming ability to move 2 suspect markers up to 4 inch, like so. And now we roll for initiative. Riddler gets +1, I roll a 4, and Riddler rolls a 7, so Riddler will start. So first activation, Riddler crew, Quiz 7 activates and uses the crew ability to give some of his crew members a +2 move marker. Now he moves like so. First activation for Bane, and Bane moves, activates and attacks the light source, which is removed. Now Riddler's turn. Echo activates, moves to the light source and does the same. She attacks it and it gets removed. Now League of Assassins again. It's the guy with the axe. He moves and he will deploy a suspect marker. Now Riddler again. Query just moves behind Echo. League of Assassins. Now Barsad, the guy with the assault rifle, moves into firing position. Riddler again. The next guy moves up the street and deploys a suspect marker. League of Assassins, it's the acolyte. He moves also in firing position. and drops a suspect marker. Riddler's turn again, and now it's Irish time to move into contact with the Acolyte and attacks him in melee. Both are using 2 efforts, and Irish needs 3s to hit. And scores 3 hits. The Acolyte tries to defend, cancels 1 hit, but that isn't enough, so the Acolyte is KO. After that, Irish uses his special action to activate Electric Storm. So the Acolyte gets hit on a 3 and suffers 2 blood damage. Back to Bane's crew. The next mercenary moves into position and places the suspect marker. Riddler again, and the next guy moves and does nothing else. Now Bane passes, so it's time for the Riddler to move this guy 2 inches back to Bane. Miranda Tate, aka Talia al Ghul, moves to a safe spot here and places a suspect marker. Back to Riddler, Quiz 1 just moves into a better firing position to protect the Riddler. Before my turn I play multiple threats, and now I can put some counters onto friendly suspect markers, and at the end of the turn I roll, and if I roll some of the counters I will score this card. So 1, 2, 4 and 3. So for my last activation I activate Cheshire. She moves in contact with Irish and attacks him. Both are using 3 efforts to attack and defend. She hits on 3, so 3 hits, and she can reroll the strength die needing a 5, and that's a critical hit. Now Irish defends and needs 4s. He rerolls 1 due to his luck skill and defends 3 hits, so just 1 wound with 2 blood damage and poisoned effect. Back to Riddler. Riddler activates and uses his special ability to place 2 suspect markers within a distance like that. And at the end of the turn I try to score multiple threats needing a 1, 2, 3 or 4. So I score this card, and also I can score Do Not Deviate from the Plan because my opponent didn't reveal any of my suspect markers this turn. In the recovery phase, Irish tries to recover from poison effect but didn't succeed, so he suffers an additional 2 damage due to Cheshire's Poison Master ability and Toxicologist. So the Acolyte tries to wake up from the KO effect, didn't succeed, so now it's a new turn, initiative. I roll a 1, Riddler rolls a 1, we both get +1, so Assassins will start. And we start with Cheshire attacking the weakened Irish. Cheshire hits on 3s and on 5s with a strength die, so that's 4 hits. And Irish defends against 4s, rolling none, but re-rolling due to luck, so 1 cancelled hit. And in response to that, Riddler placed the resource effect of Riddles of the Storm to cancel all but 2 hits, so it's 2 blood damage for Irish. Still standing. Now Cheshire moves and ends the turn. Before Riddler's next activation, he plays the resource effect of Riddle Me That to move 1 friendly suspect marker up to 4 inch. And he moves this suspect marker. Now Irish activates. He moves to here and activates a special action to drop a Riddle marker. Now Riddler can score. You activate the Riddle because he can remove 2 friendly suspects within 6 inches of an enemy model. Now Bane activates and he moves into contact with Irish, drops off his mantle and goes into melee. So now Bane hits on 3s. He can reroll due to Combat Master, so 5 hits. And Irish defense against 5s. He cancels 3 hits, but sadly that isn't enough, so he is killed. Now Riddler activates Query and she shoots her LMG at Bane and Barsat, and she hits. Barsat suffers damage. Now she tries to hit Bane. 3 hits and Bane suffers 6 blood damage. Now she moves into a safer position. Now Barsat activates and he shoots at Alex Orange, getting 2 hits. That's 6 blood, that is enough to kill the guy. Riddler activates and moves back to Bane. The mercenary, he moves into contact with Echo and attacks her in melee. He spends no effort, so his dice are reduced, hitting just 1. Echo defends successfully, but nevertheless I can score overdrive because I attacked someone and spent no effort, so 2 points for assassins. Back to the Riddler crew. Echo moves into contact with Barsat and attacks him in melee, but sadly it's only 2 hits. And Barsat can defend both hits. The leak passes and it's Riddler again. This guy moves and places a suspect marker. The leak passes again, so it's Riddler. Charlie C drops a Riddle marker, then moves and places a suspect marker. Back to Bane. Miranda Tate moves. She stays hidden, but places a suspect marker. Because of that, now the Riddle marker is removed and I have to choose a suspect marker. I choose a 1 and that scores Riddle Me That for the Riddler because I chose the wrong number. So 3 points for the Riddler. Now Riddler's turn. The Riddler himself moves carefully, cautiously back to the league. The mercenary moves into position. And now I play multiple threats. Again, counting my suspect markers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Riddler's activation, this guy does nothing, so it's the end of the round. I score multiple threats. I can also score do not deviate from the plan again, and I score eradicate the order because I have more suspect markers than my opponent. Now the Acolyte tries to recover from his KO and he does so. And the next turn begins, starting with the assassins. In the take the lead phase, I play from the shadows, choosing a victim that I have to kill or KO this round, and that will be this guy. Now Miranda Tate uses her Scheming 3 ability to move some suspect markers around the board. And starting with her activation, she uses sneak attack because she stayed hidden to attack the victim. She hits on 3s and on 5s with her strength die. A lot of hits. Even the strength die hit. Not enough defending, so Charlie C is out and from the shadow is scored. Now to Riddler's activation, Echo moves. She now places a suspect marker. Now I can play Osito, and now I can turn this suspect marker into a cute little teddy bear, which I can score if it is in my possession at the end of the game. Now she reveals my suspect marker. Back to the league, the mercenary moves cautiously, places the suspect marker, and now I can score under their noses because I placed the suspect marker within 4 inches of an enemy suspect marker. Back to the Riddler crew, the guy with the submachine gun shoots at Miranda Tate, hits on 4s, it's only 1 hit, so she suffers 2 blood damage. Back to my crew, Cheshire activates. She moves into contact with Query, attacking her in melee. She now hits on 3s and can re-roll the strength die, so only 2 hits. Query defends against 4s and cancels all hits. Riddler activates Quiz 3. He moves into contact with Bane. Bane is hurt, so Quiz 3 tries his luck. He hits on 5s and that's a whopping 3 hits. And he can re-roll the strength die, that's another hit. So Bane has to defend well against 3s. So Bane suffers 1 more wound that he regenerated the round before. Now I play the Lazarus Pit and I use the resource effect to place the Lazarus Pit token. Now Bane moves into contact with both Echo and Quiz 3 and attacks both at the same time. So he tries to hit Quiz 3 with a strength die, misses, attacks Echo, 3 hits. She tries to defend, cancels 2 hits, but that's enough for her to go down. Back to Riddler. The Riddler himself moves into contact, desperately trying to take out Miranda Tate, and he plays Riddle Me Softly, the resource effect, to put a riddle marker in contact with him. Before he can attack, he have to be successful at a willpower roll, which he does, and now he can attack her, hitting her on 4s. Only 1 hit. He can reroll the strength die, hitting on 5s. That's no hit, so Miranda is successful at defending. Now back to Barsat. He is not in contact with Quiz 3. He aims, pulls the trigger, hits on 3s. 2 hits, that's enough to kill Quiz 3. Now my opponent decides to call it, because there's no way the Riddler crew can possibly keep up with the points advantages of the assassins. Riddler's desperate try to kill Miranda failed, and in return she would probably kill him in return. The League also has more suspect markers. Bane is still alive, so I think it's safe to say that the League of Assassins have the upper hand here and will be victorious. But nevertheless, let's take a look at the victory points. So in the end, the League of Assassins scored 19 victory points and the Riddler crew scored 5 victory points. Now we both declared our MVPs for the game. For me, it was a tough choice between Cheshire Bane or Miranda Tate, but in the end I chose Miranda because she distributed more victory points with multiple threats, boosted my crew with more money, even killed someone in melee with sneak attack, survived a gunshot and the attack of the enemy boss. My opponent had a harder time choosing MVP, but in the end he chose Quarry because she nearly killed Bane and Barsad with her light machine gun. That would have made things easier because Irish would have been alive and could have caused more trouble in my backline. I think the matchup was real tough for the Riddler crew, especially having no bodyguard for the Riddler. Riddler needs to be closer to the enemy when you want to use his full potential, but the League is quite deadly in melee, because almost everyone has pure blood damage, besides Bane, and the League objective cards are a bit easier to score than the Riddler objective when you're not an experienced player, which we aren't. I think next time we will use the other Riddler leader, that one on the throne, because that guy is way more harder to kill. Maybe that will even sum things out between the crews. For the League, I was quite happy with everyone's performance. Bane is still a monster, even using the Tom Hardy version. I did not even use his kill them special action in the game. But nevertheless, we had a lot of fun and will continue to play, but that's that for today. I hope you liked this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And we'll see each other next time, when there is still a shadow over Gotham.